Hi everyone, this is Xana Warrior here with Fine Rogue in the studio as always. Say hi, Fine Rogue.
Yo!
What up? And today, since we're celebrating new band lists, we got Sanwitch, the deck. Now see, Sanwitch is fun, because before, when Sangan and Witch of the Black Forest were banned, there was like literally no way to get them out. You couldn't even get them out with instant fusion. And since Sangan and Witch of the Black Forest went to 3, I wanted to make a deck out of it. So what did you think before we start?
Honestly, it was kind of ridiculous at first, but it somehow worked.
At first I was like, okay, this is just going to search a lot and do nothing else. But no, because you can get their effects off synchro summons, then everything gets a little wilder. So I'm going to go over the deck list. Really quick though, just the entire point of the deck is basically a Resonator engine, XYZ a little bit. Just taking advantage of the fact that every time these cards are sent off the field, you basically get to search out any card in your deck, which is extremely useful. So yeah, let's get right into it. We got 2 Mystic Tomatoes here. 1400 attack. It's one of those destroy by battle, and you can special summon out another Dark Monster, which gets out Witch of the Black Forest, Dark Resonator, Tour Guide, Sangan. Yeah, searches most of the searchers in the deck. Now we got Witch of the Black Forest and Sangan. It's a level 4 and a level 3 Dark Monsters. And when they're sent from the field to the graveyard, Black Forest anyway, you can add a monster with a 1500 or less defense for your deck to your hand. And Sangan, you can add a monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand. Which are great generic searchers on their own, but used in tandem, these guys made the deck so consistent. It's like I had my entire deck in my hand the entire time. Which sounds dirty, but come on. But you can't activate the cards or the effective cards with a name for the rest of the turn. So there's a bit of a restriction, but if you do it on the other person's turn, then the next turn you're good to go. Really great cards. Run all of them at 3. 3 Dark Resonator. He's level 3 Fiend, so he gets off on Tour Guide's effect and Crane. And he's a Synchro Monster. Plus he can't be destroyed by battle for 1 turn, which is nice to just set up with. Pretty slow, but you know what? We like to throw Resonators in there, and he's a level 3. Tour Guide from the Underworld. Searches a level 3 Fiend type monster from your deck and special summons it. And it can only XYZ, which is its restriction, but we have some good level 3 XYZ monsters here, so, you know. We were thinking. Crane gets a level 3 monster from the graveyard and special summons it, so, you know, another XYZ or Synchro play if you have Dark Resonator. And Red Resonator lets you, when it's normal summon, you can special summon any one of these cards from your hand to go into an easy Synchro play. And if you target someone else after its special summon, you gain that much life points, as much as they add attack. So all in all, they can just search each other out, they get each other out, it's all really consistent with the monsters. Then we have 2 Dark Eruptions. You can probably run this at 3 as well. Target 1 Dark Monster with 1500 or less attack in your graveyard, add it to your hand, so basically just take out any one of these monsters. I use this a ton with Tour Guide from the Underworld, and well, yeah, it's nice. 3 Allure of Darkness, because most of these guys are darks, and you'll be able to get them out again with Levier. Honestly, you might want to even run this at 2 if you want. I didn't go into it that much, but, you know, more draw power is always nice. This deck almost didn't need it, though. 1 Raigeki, just to get rid of everything. 2 Resonator Calls, just to search out these 2. I'm thinking of running at 3, but this, again, it's so consistent. I can't even stress that enough. 1 Polymerization, just because we're memesters, and if you pull into this, you're gonna get off the best card in the game. We've missed you, Sandwich. 2 Twin Twister, just toss anything and destroy 2 spell trap cards. By the way, Black Forest and Sangan's effect only work if they were on the field and then get sent to the graveyard, so this doesn't trigger their effect. 3 Supply Squad, because they're probably going to be destroying our monsters every once in a while, so we want to get more draws off that. 2 Crush Card Virus, because this actually triggers Sangan's effect, and also, well, no, actually, it's pretty much just Sangan and Tour Guide. And your opponent takes no damage till the end of the next turn after this card resolves. Also, look at your opponent's hand, and all the monsters they control, and if you do, destroy the monsters among them with 1500 or more attack. Then your opponent can destroy up to 3 monsters with 1500 or more attack in their deck. So, in this current age, where everyone wants monsters in the graveyard, this actually is kind of a strange choice to have, but this deck can really drain your opponent of their resources really quickly, and Fine Rogue will attest to this. If he
For
was
sure,
here.
man. For sure. Actually, for sure. I will say, the first duel we had actually kind of helped me with sending monsters from the hand to the grave. But
And
everything after that was it definitely hindered me.
And one game we're going to show you where it helped, it then ended up hindering.
Yes.
Yeah, you'll see. Don't worry. And then Return to the Front Lines at 3, and Rosie's Oasis of Dragon Souls at 3. Just because getting out the monsters from the graveyard is super useful, and then destroying them or synchro summoning gets rid of them. So, honestly, just really nice to have these at 3. We just want to keep reusing everything. It's all about reusing, reducing, and recycling, ladies and gentlemen. Blazing Mirror Force, just to get rid of some of those battle monsters, and Solemn Warning. So we have our 44 cards. So let's go on the extra deck. We got Sanwitch. It's your boy, 2100 attack. If you can Polymerization with Witch of the Black Forest and saying it on the field, then you get 2 searches, which is, it's nice. But it kind of sucks. You can run it without it, but why would you? He's so cute. Look at him. He's got a little sandwich bush. We got the levels of the synchros are mostly just 5, 6, and 7s. You can run other 5, 6, and 7s if you want, but I run stuff like Cataster, Chunbara, White Aura Dolphin, Vulcan, especially Red Wyvern and Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. These are some staples I have. 1 level 4 Castel, because we have level 4 monsters in here. I'm going to put them in there. 2 Phantom Knight of Break Sword, because he can pop himself in 1 card in your field, so he gets off the effects and pops a monster in the field or other card, which is super useful. Leviair, for when your monsters get banished, like Lure of Darkness, good for synchro plays. And Dante, because, it's just nice to have 2500 attack. And then you should maybe run Avarice in there, but usually you can win before this becomes a problem. And also, Summoner Monk is a good addition. I had him in a previous build, and I didn't feel like I wanted to go into him that much, because at best I would get Witch of the Black Forest out, but I wouldn't get her effect. So, you want to go in the replays?
Let's do it.
Alright, perfect. Anyone notices I changed up the music as well this time.
Damn it, I went to the deck edit again.
I went to AI mode. Alright, look, I'm a little out of practice. I was just on my anniversary weekend. Okay, so...
No excuses, Nico.
You're right, I'm so sorry. Alright, so we're going to start with Sandwich 1. You ready? Jake?
Yes.
Alright, you ready? You ready? You ready? Sure.
Yes.
Alright, let's go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, so here we're starting. He's playing a Silent Swordsman hero deck. I have 2 Crush cards out in the field, but only 1 Crane, so immediately I'm a little worried. And this card actually totally counters my deck, because every time you search a card, it discards a random card from your hand. So I had to get rid of that immediately. I was scared of that. I got rid of that with Raigeki. So then he brings out Silent Swordsman, uses Silent Sword to give it 2500 attack. Can't be negated, so, Silent Swordsman just does that. So 2500 attack. He's now going to have a 3000 attack monster that can negate 1 spell card on the field, so that's bad for me. If I use Resonator Call, he's not intimidated by that, to get out Allied Justice and Cataster, since it's a light, bam, destroyed. And then he gets out Silent Swordsman level 7, but also a light monster, so Cataster, it destroys everything that's non-dark. Just doesn't want to deal with it. But I do get out Mystic Tomato, run into the monster, get out Witch of the Black Forest, so I can get back out Red Resonator to gain more health, and kill him with Cataster. He has 100 more defense above me, goddamn. And I get out Moonlight Dragon, because that basically counters this high-level deck with fusion monsters. Unfortunately, he gets out Silent Honor Knight, so, he counters my counter. But then I counter his counter to my counter by using Witch of the Black Forest to get back Sengen. And by using Sengen, I can use Crush Card Virus and get rid of most of the cards in his hand. And with Sengen, I can actually even search out Tour Guide from the Underworld, so I'm ready and set up for the next play. Unfortunately, he gets out another Silent Swordsman, so I can't use Dark Corruption that turn. But we got other options. This deck is nothing but options. 1500, so I go into Tour Guide, Sengen. He's not using a lot of spell traps, so I use Twin Twister as fodder, and I end up killing Silent Swordsman. So, at this point, I think we're starting to run out of cards. If
I was.
Yeah.
This is about that time, yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty appealing for people to see Crush Card and be like, oh, I get to dump a bunch of monsters in my graveyard and everything. But, you know, if you start running out of stuff like with Honest, then you have to start swinging with Honest. You're in a bad place. But at this point, I end up getting out the greatest monster in the game. Sanwitch! There we go. And 2 searches with Sanguine Witch of the Black Forest, so instantly plus super hard.
The only time he gets him out, only for it to be returned back to the hand.
Isn't that Yu-Gi-Oh, man? Isn't that just how the game is played?
Yes.
So I'm still in a pretty bad spot since Honest is able to chip away at me, but it's just getting better. I mean, look at this. I had 5 cards in my hand after putting all that in the graveyard. You could call this a meta deck at this point. That's how much I draw. And another Air Force in the back. You'll see that in a second. Just remember. I get back to Sanguine. And by the way, there's a rule change. So there was a rule change way back when. I don't know if you haven't been in the game for a while or not. But Sanguine used to be able to get his effect off being detached as an XYZ material. But now he doesn't. So that's not going to help. But anyway, that's just a bit of a tangent. I'm able to destroy his Master Hero Enki with Red Wyvern. He Air Forces my 2 monsters, but I knew he had something like that, so I used Red Resonator and Crane Crane to go into Hyper Librarian. Probably a better monster I could use, but hey, whatever. And he gets a Silent Swordsman. Unfortunately, he's got like no other warrior monsters in his deck by now. So I just gain more life and get out Sanguine. It's all about gaining advantage in each monster effect. Lure of Darkness for Witch of Black Forest. I really don't even need it. Just 2 attacks with Chanban. So yeah, that was the first game. What did you think of it? Nothing really. I got you.
Right.
It was too great.
What?
It was too good of a game for you to even comment on. So after you came back at me hard.
With
Sanwitch 2.
Sanwitch 2.
Right.
That's right.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Didn't I lose this one? No, I didn't. I didn't lose this one.
We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so he has this Chaos Max Dragon deck. It's probably his most intimidating deck he has. So I'm already freaking out a little bit. And yeah, I attack his Sage with Eyes of Blue with Dark Resonator. He gets out Maiden with Eyes of Blue, so you know, I'm like... But I decide to attack with Sanguine and Dark Resonator just to get rid of the Maiden with Eyes of Blue. And use Crush Card Virus to get rid of all of his blue eyes. So I'm like, I'm feeling pretty confident right now. But then, oops, Soul Charge. And... oh god. Yeah. He goes a little bit wild in this instance. Yeah. I have very, very weak odds right now. So I bring up Crane Crane. Unfortunately, he bottomless trap holes my Phantom Knight. I was trying to destroy Sanguine and one of his monsters. And he gets out Hope Harbinger. So, again, bad situation I'm in. But I have the God Guard right here. Catastrophe. People always sleep on Catastrophe nowadays. They're like, oh, it's too slow. You gotta attack with it. It doesn't kill your opponent in 1 turn by drawing into it. But hey, I had Crush Card Virus again. And I was able to destroy his huge field. Again, Crush Card Virus, very fun. Very useful if you know how to use it right. So I get Red Resonator, and go into Red Wyvern, Witch of Black Forest effect to all this off. And oops, internet cut out. Sorry guys.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, guys.
Yeah, he won that though. Alright, so Sanwitch 3, you ready for this?
Let's do it.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, so now Jake is steaming. He doesn't know what to do. So he brings out the greatest deck he has, Drag Unities, which by the way, with the most recent ban list, is Drag Unity Field Spell, Dragon Ravine, that went back to 3. So, you know, thank God for that. I miss this deck a lot. It was a lot of fun to play with. And
it's a great deck.
It's a great deck. In fact, we gotta update it because you can use Clear Wing Synchro Drag now. Woo. So, anyway, Supply Squad goes off, Witch of Black Forest goes off. I have 5 cards back in my hand after doing all that play. Soul Charge with my girl and my boy. Crane into... Okay, so I can't Crane into Tour Guide. I pop Sangan to get another Surge. I use Dark Eruption to get back Tour Guide, so I'm ready for next turn. Unfortunately, I'm not able to attack with a Soul Charge. But Dragon Legionnaire comes back. He's able to get back his Red Dragon Archfiend. This deck, by the way, it's a huge Red Dragon Archfiend centered thing. So now I have way too many cards in my hand. That's the thing you'll realize. You may actually end up with too many cards in your hand. Maybe you can run Maju or whatever. Take advantage of that. So I have a Vulcan of the Divine. I send my supply squad back to my hand to get rid of his Archfiend. I have to pitch Dark Resonator at that point. Maybe one more Twin Twister. I don't know. Whatever you want to do with a lot of cards. And he gets out Catastor because he's seen me use this so much. What a copycat, am I right? And so, still looking really good. I have still 6 really combo-heavy monsters in my deck, but in this play, I thought I had another break, whatever his name is, Phantom Knight, and I ended up having to go into Dante because of Crane. So again, too many cards in my hand. I mean, look at this. This is too much advantage. This is like running an appropriate deck, alright? This is a little too much. So he tries he tries the Torrential, but I get out Singing again. He Scrap Iron Scarecrows it, which is the last mistake he's ever going to make. I Crush Card Virus just to get rid of his monsters. Get Sangan's effect off, so I now have too many cards again. God damn it. Then Oasis Dragon Soul to get out of my boys. Red Resonator, Sangan. Great little combo there. And so Red Resonator into which is Black Forest. So I go TG Hyper Librarian, and then Black Rose, because I know there's a lot of cards. Oh, by the way, if you use Crush Card Virus, next turn you can't do any damage to your opponent. So you gotta watch out for that.
Which we found that out kind of late.
Yeah. Well, I didn't figure out here. I thought the game glitch, so, you know, brain dead. Read the card, my boy.
That's something we always tell me.
Yeah, but, you know, I didn't even follow it. So it just shows even top-tier duelists going to 8 YCSs mess up. So he used Dragini Levay turn. So I brought back Black Rose Dragon and Sangan, so I can bounce it back to his hand and use Crush Card Virus to get rid of it. I did not need to bounce it back to his hand, but I mean, come on, I was going to bounce it back to his hand. Why would I not? And yeah, at this point, we learned the effect because I didn't hurt him, obviously. And yeah, just generated massive advantage with this deck. I got back Polymerization, but I just wanted to end the duel. I know how dangerous Jake can be. So yeah, he's hoping for Heart of the Cards and gets a Foolish Berry. And at this point, Jake makes the craziest comeback I've ever seen in my life. Oh, damn it! The internet got out again.
I guess so.
Ah, dude, I'm so sorry. We do have one.
It happened.
We do have one good replay of Jake though, with Sandwich 1.2. You got that?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to it in 3, 2, 1.
I actually want to play it. Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, so this is where he's using his Ancient Gear deck. This one was pretty quick, didn't show off a lot, so I didn't want to include it. Also, I lost, so there's that.
I was surprised that he even wanted to include it in the end. I was surprised he wanted me to save it.
I thought it was a great duel, honestly, just looking at what you did. And, you know, Dark Resonator, Sangan, Red Wyvern, get off the effect. I knew he could probably bring out a big synchro monster, so I got Red Wyvern. Red Wyvern's a great card, by the way. Destroys a monster with higher attack than it on either player's turn. So he fusion summons, but he knows Red Wyvern effect, so he uses Overload Fusion again after I destroy it to get out Chaos Gear Giant. Now this thing's beefy, you can attack every card you control, and it does piercing damage, so it's insane. Also battle traps like Biggs and Mirror Force don't help. So I use Tour Guide and Sangan, classic combo, to get out Phantom Knight and destroy Chaos Giant. So I'm feeling pretty cozy in my spot right now. What does this guy do? He gets out Power Bond 8800 classic Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem strats and kills me.
It was some crazy stuff there.
I just love that duel. So yeah, that's Sandwich deck. Honestly, I feel like I made this deck pretty fun. If you want to actually make this a pure Sandwich build, then I would suggest using a lot of low attack and defense cards so you can get off Sandwich's materials effect, and use Dark Magician stuff so that you can take advantage of the Dark Spellcaster type stuff. But yeah, that's the video. Do you have any closing comments?
Not much other than saying that it was actually a really creative deck, and I was actually, once again, surprised at how well he was able to turn a shit tier deck into something semi-viable.
Yeah, it's just how much searching you get. It just so overwhelmingly exceeds at that it has to do good at some point. So, yeah, that's the video. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have an idea to make this deck better or any of my previous ones, please leave a comment below. I'm going to look through it, and if you have actually a really good idea, I'll feature it in an update video. We'll throw out your name, and we'll talk about it, see you in a few duels. It'll be a whole lot of fun. So, I'm Xana Warrior. That's Fine, bro. And goodbye. Good night, everybody.
Peace.